Are you ready to transform your pool into a stunning oasis? At Mainland Pool Service, they're a family-owned business committed to keeping your pool looking pristine all year round. They believe that pool care should be proactive, not reactive, which is why their skilled team handles everything from routine cleaning to complex issues with precision. They prioritize clear communication and personalized solutions to exceed your expectations. Join the Mainland Pool Service family today and experience the difference their expertise and dedication can bring to your relaxation retreat. Contact them now at mainlandpoolservice.com.
Kroger shoppers and Grizz fans. Want exclusive last-minute discounted ticket deals texted straight to you? Sign up with the new Kroger Buzzer Beater deal. Fans can sign up by texting Grizz to 636-479 or visit your local Kroger store in the Delta Division and scan the QR code. By signing up, you agree to receive recurring automated promotional and personalized marketing text messages from the Memphis Grizzlies. Consent is not a condition of any purchase. Message frequency varies. Message and data rates may apply.
Grizzlies fans, dunks, dimes, and no-looks are great on TV, but nothing compares to catching them IRL. And that starts with buying tickets at Ticketmaster, the official ticket marketplace of the Memphis Grizzlies and the NBA. Ticketmaster gets you to the game so you can catch every highlight in person. From seeing your favorite Grizzly stars up close to hearing the squeak of the sneakers on the hardwood. Put that jersey collection to use and get tickets at Ticketmaster. There's no better brag than saying you saw it live. See you courtside, Memphis.
Let's face it, there's a lot of trash talk in basketball, but the great teams let their performance do the talking. Like Ford F-150 with Pro Power on board, a class-exclusive industry-first feature that turns your truck into a mobile generator and leaves the competition speechless. Ford F-150, official truck of the Grizzlies. Greatness starts here at your Mid-South Ford dealer. Class is full-size pickups under 8,500 pounds, GVWR.
Live from the Built Ford Tough studio at FedEx Forum, it's the Gary Parrish Show, presented by Ortho South, on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app. Now, here's your host, Gary Parrish.
All right. My name is Gary Parrish, speaking to you from Midtown Manhattan, New York City. Bennett Doyle back in Memphis, producing the program. Glad he's with me. Glad you're with me. Hope you're getting through the day best you can. And I hope you're enjoying the 2026 NCAA Tournament. It's been a blast so far. I've been talking about it every night on TV. We'll talk about it here momentarily. First, though, quickly, let me set today's schedule for you. The next segment, about 10:20, Michael Eaves is going to join me. He, of course, hosts SportsCenter for ESPN. I'll talk to him about a number of things, including his Kentucky Wildcats going out in the round of 32. Despite being a preseason top 10 team, the criticism is heavy, directed at second-year coach Mark Pope. I'll get Michael Eaves' thoughts on that and other NCAA tournament developments. He'll join me in the next segment. Finish talking to Michael Eaves. We will take a break, come back, do 5 more things you need to know, at which point we'll discuss 5 previously undiscussed stories, among them the Grizzlies. Will return to the court tonight down in Atlanta. Tip is set for 6:30 Central. We'll get you ready for, I guess this is our version of Magic City Monday. We'll do that in about 40 minutes. Penny Hardaway's Tigers, as you know, returned 0 players from the 2024-25 team that secured a 5 seed in the NCAA tournament and won a conference championship. That didn't go so well. Such will not be the case next season. At least 2 players are coming back, probably more. We'll get you updated on that situation. We'll do it in just a bit. Just like in football, the champion of the American Conference in men's basketball is losing its coach, USF's Brian Hodgson, off to Providence. He's going to be their next coach. We'll spend some time on that. What does it mean? We'll do it a little later on in the show. Hall of Fame coach Bill Self was non-committal on whether he'd return to Kansas next season following the Jayhawks' second-round loss to St. John's in the NCAA tournament. I'll tell you exactly what he said. We'll do that in the third segment. And pop star Chappell Roan has responded to criticism from an internationally known soccer star after he claimed her security made his daughter cry. 2 sides to every story, I guess. We'll try to talk, maybe 3 or 4 or 7. We'll try to talk through it We'll do it during a segment we call 5 More Things You Need to Know. Then we'll eventually do GP's Carryout, and we'll call it a day. So that's the rundown. We got a lot to get to. But I did want to start with the 2026 NCAA Tournament because the first and second rounds, they are now in the books after 6 days of games starting last Tuesday. We're down to 16 teams. Officially, they call that the Sweet 16. 3 of the 4 number 1 seeds are still alive. Florida, the reigning national champ, that's the only 1 seed that didn't make it out of the second round. Ben McCollum, Bennett Sturts, and the Iowa Hawkeyes eliminated the Gators on Saturday. So that was on Sunday, rather, and that was probably the biggest development of the day. That's what we led Bracket Breakdown with last night on CBS Sports Network. Big Bet Bennett, it's good to see you on this Monday morning. I'm hoping to see you on this Tuesday morning, but I'm not optimistic. Nebraska advanced to the Sweet 16 with a final second layup on Saturday. Iowa advanced to the Sweet 16 with a buzzer-beating three-pointer on Sunday. Arkansas, Tennessee, and Texas are all alive out of the SEC, as well as Alabama. The Big Ten is leading the way with 6 teams in the Sweet 16. Do you have a favorite moment or storyline connected to this NCAA tournament?
I mean, I've been riding with the Huskers all season long, so to see them get into the Sweet 16 is kind of exciting. That was probably one of my favorite developments of the weekend. Outside of that, I got Arkansas in the Final Four, so obviously seeing them advance makes me happy. I'm rooting for that Arkansas team as well in this tournament. And I got 12 of the 16 teams.
Bennett.
So I'm doing okay. I'm doing okay.
Okay, Bennett.
Yeah.
Bennett's trying to win a bracket.
I'm trying to win a bracket. Yeah.
He's trying to win a bracket competition. I think my favorite story is the Nebraska story. That was just awesome to watch.
Yep.
As you know, because we've talked about it, that's not only a program that had never won a game in the NCAA tournament before this season, it's the only power conference program that had never won a game in the NCAA tournament before this season. And if you remember 2 years ago, they made the NCAA tournament, got shipped to Memphis, played at FedEx Forum. They brought more fans than anybody else.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little bit like if you're old enough to remember when Memphis went to the New Orleans Bowl with D'Angelo. And it was the first bowl game in a million years. And it felt like something special. Now, the Memphis football program is at a point where, regardless of the coach, it goes to a bowl game every year. But there was a time where that was not Memphis's reality. And so we went to a bowl game, and it felt like the whole city traveled to New Orleans to experience that. And Nebraska fans have treated the NCAA tournament like that for a while. And if you happen to be at FedEx Forum a couple of years ago for the NCAA tournament, you saw that up close. They didn't get it done. Lost to Texas A&M. So remained winless in the NCAA tournament. Fred Hoiberg's the coach. That didn't get off to a great start. Picked bottom half of the Big Ten this season. If he did not have a good season, that really might be it. But they've been one of the best teams in the country all season long. They secured a high seed in the NCAA tournament. They won their first game on Thursday. And then on Saturday, not only do they win to go to the first Sweet 16 in program history, but they do it with Braden Frager getting a game-winning layup with 2.2 seconds. For people who don't know, he's from the area. He grew up a Nebraska fan. So much in college basketball right now, college athletics right now, is you are playing for the school where you're paid the most to play. That is the majority of college athletics now, at least in football and men's basketball. Why did you pick this school? The answer is almost never going to be because I grew up dreaming of playing at this school. It used to be that a lot at Memphis, almost up and down the roster completely. It's not really that way anymore outside of for a few players here and there. And yet, Braden Frager, he's at Nebraska because he's been wearing red his whole life. When he was playing in the driveway, he thought about hitting game-winning shots for the Cornhuskers. And then he hits the game-winning shot for the Cornhuskers to send them to the Sweet 16 for the first time in school history. And then Fred Hoiberg and his sons, the twins, get to celebrate that together. Both of them are in the program right now. One twin plays, the other one's just a part of the staff, but they're both in the program. There's mom, sister, other brother in the crowd watching it all. Like, this is a movie. You couldn't write it better. And so just watching that, who knows where it goes from here, but suddenly you get that story. It's getting sent down to Houston, where the biggest story is obviously Kelvin Sampson and the Cougars playing 2 miles from their campus. But on the other side of this Nebraska story is now an Iowa story that is just as incredible to understand. We've talked about Ben McCollum here and there. I talked about it a little bit on Jess's show this morning. But for people who are unfamiliar, this is college basketball's Curt Cignetti story. Ben McCollum had just got Iowa yesterday, back in the Sweet 16 for the first time since 1999. It's his first year at the school. Awesome story. He was the best hire, I think, on the coaching carousel last offseason. Jay Lucas at Miami's got an argument to make, perhaps some other people, other places. But at least in real time, I was like, this is the one that if they give him the resources, this will work, because it's pretty clear he's a uniquely gifted coaching talent. Here's the story for people who are unfamiliar. He's 44 years old. He was born in Iowa City, so he's a local guy. Coming out of high school, he was a whatever basketball player, went to junior college, played 2 years there, then went to Division II Northwest Missouri State, played 2 years there. Eventually, he gets into the coaching profession, and at the age of 27, yes, 27, he is named the head coach at Northwest Missouri State, this Division II school. In his final 11 seasons at Northwest Missouri State, he won 11 straight conference championships. In the final 6 seasons, his record was 253-21, with 6 conference championships and 3 national championships. In the 2020 season, you remember the NCAA tournament got canceled?
Mm-hmm.
He had the best team then too. So if that doesn't get canceled, they probably, or at least they would be favored to win that national championship. And so in his last 6 seasons, his record would have been 259-21 with 4 national championships, 4 in a row. Incredible. So then he gets the Drake job in advance of last season. In year 1 at Drake, he goes 31-4, wins the conference championship, advances to the round of 32 to the NCAA tournament by beating Missouri out of the SEC, with a roster featuring most prominently Division II players that he brought from Northwest Missouri State. So then the Iowa job opens, and they're like, hold up, this guy just went 31-4 at Drake. He was born in Iowa City. Let's offer him the job. And even before Selection Sunday, he won 21 games, even though he has a roster that had no business winning 21 games in the Big Ten. Gets a 9 seed, beats a better-seeded Clemson team in the round of 64, beats a better-seeded, top-seeded Florida team in the round of 32. He has his hometown school now in the Sweet 16 for the first time this century, and that, as they say, is a ball coach. This is the Curt Cignetti of college basketball, and if people weren't familiar with it before this weekend, just wait till we get to the Sweet 16, because now we've got several days of, fill the void, talk and write, and that story that I just told you is going to get retold 50 times, probably better in the written word than I just told it, but that's a real coaching talent, and why, if I were hiring a college basketball coach in this era of the sport, yeah, I would look at all the other traditional candidates in any other era, but I would also start looking for who is the Ben McCollum right now of Division II, of Division III, of NAIA, because you don't need all the relationships and stuff you used to need to try to flourish at this level of the sport. You just need to be able to run a basketball program competently, and if your school gives you the resources, you can buy the players. You don't have to recruit the players anymore. You can buy them. If you can coach them, now you got something special. And clearly this guy is like one of the best coaches in the world at any level. That's not hyperbole. He is one of the best basketball coaches at any level in the world. And if I were Iowa, I would not be worried about losing him to a Kansas or North Carolina or any of the blue blood jobs that might open someday. You know where you might lose him to? NBA. The NBA.
Oh, yeah.
because he's on people's radars now. The same reasons Curt Cignetti should be on NFL radars right now. You're talking about uniquely gifted coaching talents, and what that guy just did, you watched it yesterday, like top of the shelf. Like I mentioned, the SEC still has 4 teams alive. Sean Miller in Texas, Nate Oates in Alabama, Rick Barnes in Tennessee, John Calipari in Arkansas. Bennett, before we get to Michael Eaves, let me ask you this question. What would bother your heart more? Rick Barnes getting the Vols to their first Final Four in school history, or John Calipari taking our friends from just across the river to what would be his 7th trip to the Final Four and the Razorbacks' first since 1995. What bothers your heart more?
It would, without question, be the Vols going to a Final Four. It's not even a debate. First off, I'm rooting for Arkansas. Like, I'm a closeted Arkansas fan. Like, I've rooted for that team, in the SEC my whole life, basically. So, and now 2 of my former coaches coach their football and basketball teams. So, like, I like the Hogs. Okay, I love the state of Arkansas. I go there a lot. All right, so.
I like to say to Arkansas myself.
Like, because back in the 90s, that's the thing, is back in the 90s when Arkansas was winning national championships in basketball or winning one and playing for one, like when they played Memphis and those games were so huge, I'm a kid, so I don't look at it as I hate Arkansas. I look at it as, wow, this is crazy. This is cool. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just was one of those teams that is some of my first memories as a basketball fan.
They got the old Memphis coach in John Calipari. They've got possibly a future Memphis Grizzly in Darius Acup Jr.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed on that one. And Billy Richmond, the third.
Yeah, man. Got some Memphis connections. Yep.
So there's real Memphis connections there.
Yeah,
DJ
absolutely.
Wagner, his father played at Memphis.
Right. No, and you know how I feel about Coach Cal. Like, of course I'm rooting for them. The Vols thing, I did learn a big lesson this weekend. Lesson. You never want to bet with hate in your heart. You just don't bet with hate in your heart. It's always going to bite you. Just don't do it, because I was so excited. I think around right before tip-off, it was Virginia plus 100 or something like that. I was like, oh, let's go. Let's get all in on this one, because I've seen how this plays out.
You know the Vols made history. Do you know the Vols made history? First ever team, Tennessee, first ever team to beat 2 30-win teams in the first 2 rounds of the NCAA tournament since the NCAA tournament expanded in 1985. They beat Miami, Ohio, which had 30 wins, and then they beat Virginia, which had 30 wins. So UT finished tied for 4th in the SEC, but just beat the second-place team in the ACC. Rick Barnes in the Sweet 16 for the 4th straight year. Memphis hasn't been since 2009. How's that make you feel?
And listen, I have, like Evan just said in the chat, like, if they get to we can never hold that over them again if they get to a Final Four. Like, that is always, no matter how much success they're having right now, Memphis fans can always say, okay, you've never been to a Final Four.
Right. Remember when we came into FedEx Forum and beat you guys when you were ranked number 1 and undefeated? Cool. Tell me about the time you went to the Final Four. Oh, you've never been? Interesting. I know your women's team used to go to Final Fours all the time. You guys couldn't even get to 1? That's interesting. You could always do that, right?
Yep.
They're 2 wins away from you never being able to do that again.
That's right. No, they're good. And, like, sometimes we talked about it with Rick Barnes quite a bit, because they were just done with it at Texas, just because you're always getting to the tournament, but you're never getting over the hump. Sometimes just being in this position is fun, and you just need to enjoy the ride and having fun. Like, I would take going to the Sweet 16 every year without question. If you could promise me that, I would take it forever.
I would just take one every decade.
Okay.
I just, like,
calm down.
I would take one every 15 years at this point.
Calm down. You know what I'm saying, though. Like, if you could promise me Sweet 16s every year, great, and then we'll see what happens after that. But if I can take that, give it to me.
Yeah. Hey, hopefully we get back to that someday. Wouldn't that be fun?
Yeah, that would be awesome.
We used to go to Sweet 16s all the time. Now Tennessee goes all the time. We don't go at all. We used to go all the time. They would go sometimes. Now they go all the time. We never go. We got to get that. We're going to try to get that fixed. We're working on it. Yeah. I talked to Dr. Scott last week. We're working on it.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Good.
We're working on it. Michael Eaves is up next.
The Grizzlies are proud to team up with Prime Global Group, a company on a mission to redefine real estate investment. By leveraging deep experience, strategic insight, and robust resources, Prime Global Group is shaping a smarter, socially responsible future. Whether you're an investor or simply curious, now's the time to explore innovative strategies that align with your values. Join the movement and discover how you can be a part of this exciting evolution. Visit primeglobalgroup.net to learn more and connect with the team today. That's primeglobalgroup.net.
Wells, a rhythm three. Yes, sir! Exclamation point on this game.
Grizz fans, defend your home court from pests with Terminix. Before cockroaches, spiders, and mice show up, Terminix it with our pest-free 365-plus year-round protection plan. Visit Terminix.com today and enter code SAVE50 at checkout to save $50. Terms apply. Go Grizzlies!
New Amsterdam Vodka is an official partner of the Memphis Grizzlies. It's the only exceptionally smooth vodka that is 5 times distilled, 3 times filtered, and rated 93 points. New Amsterdam believes wins big and small become legendary when you celebrate them with your crew. So here's to the blue, white, and gold, the Memphis grit and grind, and reliving winning moments big and small with Tennessee's favorite basketball team. New Amsterdam Vodka. Find your wins.
Did you see that hockey goal from the Russian Hockey League? We're going to come right in front of the table, and we're going to recreate.
We're going to recreate the moment. Hold around. You do it. Go, let's go!
Tune in to the Jessica Benson Show with CJ Hurt live every weekday at 8 a.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Welcome back, Gary Parrish Show, presented by Ortho South. I'm in New York City at this point, probably forever. Ben Doyle back in Memphis producing the program, and Michael Eaves joins me on Mondays. He, of course, among other things, hosts Sports Center for ESPN. He's here right now. Michael Eaves, how you doing, buddy?
I've had better Mondays.
So have I. What's bothering your Monday today?
It's not that Kentucky lost.
Yeah.
It's that they got housed.
Yeah.
Like it went from, wow, they're actually in this game. And then all of a sudden it was like they have zero chance of winning this game.
And also got housed by a team missing its best player.
Yeah, that's the second part, right? It was just, look, a loss is a loss, but I mean, some losses are different. And that one was different. Even if I had zero expectation they were going to win the game, you don't want them to go out like that. That's like their worst loss in the NCAA tournament since before I was born. I'm 53, right? Okay? It was before I was born the last time they had a loss that bad in the NCAA tournament. So yeah, that was a tough one. And then Tennessee won, so that was just made my Sunday all the way trash. It was just a trash Sunday.
So Kentucky, to get specific with it, loses in the second round of the NCAA tournament. Blowout loss to Iowa State. This is a preseason top 10 team at UK that finished 22-14, 29th at KenPom. Obviously, Jalen Lowe only played 9 games. Jaden Quaintance only played 4. That should be noted. That played a role. But like I said on CBS Sports Network last night, at Kentucky, the standard is the standard. If I told you at most schools your second-year coach has gone to back-to-back NCAA tournaments and won games in both, you'd be like, cool. But that's not cool at Kentucky. Can you explain why?
And even Mark Pope mentioned that during his post-game press conference. That is not the standard. It sounds cool for other schools, but not at Kentucky. The expectation is different, and it has been forever, and it will always be that. And when you have that environment that is Kentucky, and even Mark Pope said that this is the greatest place to play basketball if you are a college basketball player with all the things that come with it. But one of those things is also the pressure of expectations, the pressure to challenge for national championships every single year. And not doing that is the reason people were ready to run John Calipari out the door a couple years ago. And now, even though to his credit, he's gotten 2 teams to the NCAA tournament. That is not the expectation of Kentucky. The expectation, Sweet 16 is the bare minimum at Kentucky. Elite 8 is what we're talking about. We're trying to be at the Final Four every single year. And so they've not met that expectation in Mark Pope's first 2 years. And he understands what comes with that. And now you have people that are already calling for his job in Lexington. I think that's a bit premature because you do have to account for the injuries. But then some of the fans, Gary, are giving me the counter argument that say, yeah, but then why did you bring in players who had pre-existing injuries, right? And then what makes it absolutely worse for Mark Pope is the NIL money. Now, the numbers have been thrown out, 20 million, 22. That's a bit exaggerated, but it is a lot of money. It's probably closer to the 17 or $18 million range. But it's, and again, for me, it's not about the money. It's about the player evaluation that you were distributing that money. Right. It's same thing with you if you're trying to figure out who's the best high school player, who's the best player available in the portal for your system. That's all about evaluation. That's number one. Then the money comes on to seal the deal. But if you are not making the right choices, it doesn't matter how much money you're spending. It's just not going to be a good fit.
I had a coach early in the season say something along the lines like this to me. At Kentucky, they paid a guy coming off of ACL surgery and a bunch of third options like first options. And that's why this is going badly. And I really do think that perhaps is oversimplified, but that sums it up. Like Denzel Aberdeen, like Florida could have counteroffered. And my understanding is Florida was just like, yo, if they'll give you that much money to go play basketball next year, you should probably go take that because we're not giving you that money because they didn't think he was that kind of player.
Exactly. And so if you're Kentucky or any major program that's trying to win championships, right, in this day and age, you've got to go and get the high school superstars to come to your team, the one-and-done players, you got to have them. And then if you don't think your roster is a good fit for what you have now, then you go get other guys from mid-majors or maybe even some other programs where we're getting some run to complement them. You're not going to get a superstar player from another program. Maybe in the women's game you can do it because TCU got Olivia Miles out of Notre Dame, and that was huge for them. But that's typically not going to happen in the men's game to this point. So it has to start with the high school players. And another thing that Kentucky fans are griping about, as it stands right now, Gary, there are no players on the roster for next season. In terms of players, coming out of high school that are supposed to be legit players. We don't have a Darius Acuff coming in. We don't have a Darren Peterson. We don't have an AJ DeBonza. We don't have a Cameron Boozer coming in to Kentucky for next season. And if you have to redo your entire roster through the portal again, Kentucky fans will be like, yo, we're about to make the same mistakes we just made. Why are we doing it again? And I think that's what some programs are learning right now. I heard this from coaches over the past, let's just say 2 years. They would say things like, and I don't know that they mean it in an absolute way, but you would hear things like, why do I want an 18-year-old? I'm going to take a 22-year-old, 23-year-old. Why would I want a teenager? Well, you know why? If he's Darius Acuff, if he's AJ DeBonza, because I understand the 22-year-old college player is better than the 18-year-old college player. But the 18-year-old lottery pick is still better than everybody, and you need some of those. You still need some of those. You do. Like, you have to have the best talent available, and the best talent is out there is a guy that's going to come on your team and be in the NBA the next year. Okay, that's just how it is right now. But then you want the other guys to come in and complement those players, or you develop them yourself. Right? I mean, look what Dan Hurley has done with UConn and Alex Caravan, for example. He's been there for 3 years. Right? 4 years, I guess. Yes, and so he's won 2 championships, and now he has them maybe trying to make a run for another one. Right? So that's a guy that developed through the program that you can count on. You know he's going to be solid. You know he's going to give you every single night. So there's a formula for doing it. Right? And for the elite programs, it is a certain formula. And for Kentucky right now with Mark Pope, he has not met that criteria. Meantime, as you noted, Tennessee, one of your rivals, is in the Sweet 16. So are 2 of your former coaches. Let's start with Rick Pitino. I saw your tweet last night. As you noted, Rick won't have the titles or the win total for most people to call him
the greatest college basketball coach of all time. But that aside, he really might be the best who has ever coached college basketball. And the way you put it was, if you got to win one game tonight, that's the guy you want. I've said this for a while. If he never left the sport, I think he's up there with Wooden for national championships, and he's the all-time leader in wins, passing Coach K. He took years away, some of it for the NBA, some of it for other reasons, but uninterrupted, nobody's ever been better at this.
I agree with you, quite honestly. In terms of player evaluation, player development, and just overall coaching acumen, he is everything you want in a college coach, and he may be the best at those three things in terms of his overall scope. And you look at the programs, he took Providence to the Final Four. He took Kentucky to multiple Final Fours, won championship. He did the same thing with Louisville. And then all of that together, one game, I want him. I do. And here, let's say this. Let's do a blind draw of 8 players on each team. The coach has no idea who he's going to have out there. By the end of the game, Coach Pitino will win that game because he's very quick to understand what he has, what he doesn't have, and then change things to suit his personnel. To me, he's probably the best at that. And look, Kentucky fans always like, well, if he hadn't left us he had to take the Celtics job. I'm sorry, he had to. They were going to get Tim Duncan as a number 1 pick, and he was going to be the coach of the Boston Celtics. Dude, you have to take that job. There's no question about it. But if he hadn't, because you remember, that was coming off a loss to Arizona in the national championship game that went to overtime when Derek Anderson tore his ACL that year. If not, they probably would have won that game. And then Kentucky wins it the next year with Tubby Smith and the players left over from Rick Pitino. He could have won 3 or 4 or 5. And then in like a 7 or 8 year span, he really could have because of the way he brought in players. But the dude can coach. And like, he's done some things, obviously, away from the game that have tarnished his image a little bit, whether it's the personal stuff or the restaurant. Also, what happened with his assistant coaches there in Louisville. I mean, his resume is not squeaky clean by any means whatsoever. But when it comes to purely coaching basketball, I haven't seen anyone better.
He's a flawed human, like all of us are.
All of us are.
Yeah, perhaps him in other ways, but, he's not perfect. But he's an incredible basketball mind. And what I wish most people or more people knew about him is that, yeah, he's got the nice suits and he's flashy and all of that. But at the end of the day, this is just a basketball coach. Don't ever forget when he was basically banned from Power Conference basketball, he was willing to go coach in Greece. He was willing to coach Iona.
He loves it.
Loves it. I remember talking to him one time when he was out of it. And he said, people think I miss all the stuff that I don't really care about. You know what I miss? I wish I had an individual workout at 7:15 tomorrow morning with a 19-year-old. That's what I miss. He really is that guy who just wants to be in the gym all the time. And St. John's was smart to give him this perhaps last opportunity at the Power Conference level, because now at the age of 73, he's flipped that program. I'm about 20 blocks from the Garden. That is an event every time the Red Storm are playing now in Midtown Manhattan, and that's all a credit to him. Let's go to John Calipari, former Kentucky coach, now back in the Sweet 16, second straight year at Arkansas. How do Kentucky fans feel about that, if they feel any way about it at all?
I don't think they're tripping on it too much, because again, like, you have to remember, we're a couple years removed from when John left, and at the time he left, there were people ready to run him out the door, and then all of a sudden he flipped the script and he left on his own, right? So all the reasons why people thought he should have been gone still existed then, and him going to Arkansas and having success, it doesn't necessarily change what happened then. Now, it may feel some type of way just because Kentucky's not in the Sweet 16 right now and John Calipari is, but it should be no surprise that he's there, because he's always been good at finding, the best talent. And Darius Acuff clearly is one of the best players in the country. And you could make the argument he could be the number 1 pick, probably definitely top 5, if not top 3. And so if your best player has the ball in his hand the majority of the time, and he's the best player on the floor, pretty good chance your team's going to have success. And that's what's happened with Arkansas. And he's got all the other players who've been there for a while that, followed him from Kentucky. So you have those complementary players as well. So again, it's not surprising. It just stings a little bit if you're a Kentucky fan, because he's in the Sweet 16 this year and Mark Pope is not.
I know you're a fan of one of the biggest brands in the sport, but I also know you love college basketball and everything that falls under that umbrella. So I ask, does it bother you at all, concern you at all, that for the second straight year we have no traditional mid-majors getting out of the first weekend. Most people don't think that's a coincidence, that it's more of a illustration of where we are in the sport.
I think it is. I do think it is the latter, because you were talking about those complementary players that these big programs are trying to get now. A lot of times they get them from the mid majors, and so you have guys that could have been 3 and 4 year players at mid majors who are really good basketball players and not afraid to go up against a power school, having tremendous performances in the tournament. You just don't have those guys as much anymore, right? And so it's great for High Point to win a game, but no one thought they were going to win another one. Some of these other programs, it is harder for them to do Cinderella things, right? Because of the current structure of the game. Does it take away from the excitement itself? I don't necessarily think so, Gary, because I think what we remember, even the Cinderella, so we have the upsets, but you also remember just the buzzer beaters and the excitement of those. And we've had those plays in the tournament. Look at St. John's, how they won the game with a layup at the buzzer. So that's what really draws us in more than a particular Cinderella making a deep run. It's really about the excitement and how the games themselves end. Buzzer beater by mid-major or buzzer beater by a power school, that's the energy that we always gravitate towards.
And we'll get out of here on this, because I saw somebody else make this point on Twitter, and I noticed it as well. There was a big concern among some, whether it was rooted in anything real or not, you would hear it at least. Like, if you ever start paying these players, you'll lose something. It won't be like college athletics anymore. And yet, when I turn on these games, it's still moms and dads in the crowd in tears. It's still hugs and bands. It looks like college basketball. It looks the same way it's always looked. It's just that the players on the court, they're making, in some cases, millions of dollars. But at least in my mind, it has not changed the viewing experience or the emotions connected to it at all. How has it landed with you?
It hasn't changed at all. And ESPN PR put out a release recently about this college basketball season on our platforms being one of the more highly rated seasons in recent memory. So people are watching. So people saying, I stopped watching when the players got paid. You're lying. You're just talking trash on social media. And the only thing the money has done, Gary, it's given fans another avenue for criticism.
Yes.
Right? Because if a player's not performing well, the first thing they go to, and this is jealousy and envy speaking, projecting, is they go to the money they're making and not matching their performance. That's where you go because you're mad that this player didn't do something for your team or this player left your team to go somewhere else. That's really what it is. So it just gave them another avenue for vitriol. But it's not anything that is an indication of how the game is no longer fun to watch. It's the same game. It's basketball. You have last-second shots. You have tremendous performances. And every night you don't really know who's going to win because Iowa beat the defending champions last night, right? So we don't know. But we do know that there's a pretty good chance when we tune in, we're going to get something that is exciting and we love to watch. And it doesn't matter if the guys are just getting, Pell Grants or getting a $5 million NIL deal. You're still going to watch because of the results, not who's doing it.
That is Michael Eaves from ESPN. Make sure you're watching him on SportsCenter. Following him on X, @Michael Eaves. That's @Michael Eaves. I appreciate your time, buddy. I will talk to you next Monday.
All right, man. Be good.
All right. Bye-bye. When we come back, turn our attention to the NBA. The Grizzlies back on the court tonight. They're down in Atlanta. It's our own version of Magic City Monday. Hey, I don't know if you're watching the standings, but 7th best lottery odds now. Bennett, moving in the right direction, even if in any sort of traditional way of thinking it's the wrong direction. You know what we're doing. We're moving forward. We'll do it next. Gary Parrish Show, presented by Ortho South.
When the arena lights dim for a concert or when the crowd becomes one at a big game, you can almost feel like you're the biggest fan. But who's your biggest fan? It's the person who will get you home safely after a night of drinking. It's a person who looks out for your life to make sure you leave the stadium with someone sober. This could be a designated driver or someone who offers to give you a ride share. Because in Tennessee, fans don't let other fans drive drunk. Brought to you by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office, a division of the Tennessee Department of Safety and Homeland Security.
Fridays at FedEx Forum just got a whole lot more fun for the family. With the Family Friday ticket offer, a $35 game ticket gets you a $10 food voucher and access to pregame shoot-around. Additionally, for every 4 tickets purchased, you get an autographed item from the Grizzlies vault. Capture moments that last a lifetime for birthdays, youth groups, and other family-friendly celebrations. Visit Grizzlies.com/Friday to grab your tickets today.
Kroger shoppers and Grizz fans, want exclusive last-minute discounted ticket deals texted straight to you? Sign up with the new Kroger Buzzer Beater deal. Fans can sign up by texting Grizz to 636-479 or visit your local Kroger store in the Delta Division and scan the QR code. By signing up, you agree to receive recurring automated promotional and personalized marketing text messages from the Memphis Grizzlies. Consent is not a condition of any purchase. Message frequency varies. Message and data rates may apply.
Thanks for showing up, Memphis. Nothing compares to catching your Grizzlies IRL. And that all starts with buying tickets at Ticketmaster, the official ticket marketplace of the Memphis Grizzlies and the NBA. Ticketmaster gets you to the game so you can catch every highlight. Put that jersey collection to use for the next game and get Grizzlies tickets at Ticketmaster. Whether they're here at FedEx Forum or on the road, Ticketmaster's got your back when it comes to scoring tickets. And there's no better brag than saying you saw it live.
Junior Grizzlies summer camps presented by Ortho South are the key to a slam dunk summer with over a dozen 4-day camps perfect for hoopers ages 6 to 14 looking to build fundamental skills and make unforgettable memories. With camps across the Mid-South in Tennessee, Mississippi, and Arkansas, you won't have to go far for the ultimate hoops experience this summer. Registration comes with a Junior Grizzlies jersey, lunchbox, and a basketball to take home. Don't wait, space is limited. Visit grizzlies.com/Junior Grizzlies today to secure a spot for a fun-filled summer. That's grizzlies.com/Junior Grizzlies.
Orthopedic injuries can be unpredictable, unforeseen, and unscheduled, and Ortho South understands this better than anyone. Since your injuries don't make appointments, you don't need to either. And that's because Ortho South welcomes walk-ins during the weekdays in the evenings and even on Saturday. So next time an unforeseen injury makes an unscheduled appearance in your life, visit orthosouth.org to find your nearest urgent care location. Just walk in. And Ortho South will take care of everything, especially you. Learn more at orthosouth.org. That's OrthoSouth at orthosouth.org. Now, I got 5 more things you need to know.
Number 1.
Your Memphis Grizzlies will return to the court tonight down in Atlanta. It's the Grizzlies and the Hawks, 6:30 Central tip. The Hawks are 13.5-point favorites. The Grizzlies enter with a 24-46 record. Bennett, I don't know if you've been paying attention, but that equates to the 7th best lottery odds heading in to the 2026 NBA draft if we were to set such things right now. We're doing it, Bennett. We're doing it.
Yeah, we are doing it. I don't know if you got a chance to see any of the game the other night, but it wasn't great. I mean, it wasn't great. The Hornets pretty much handled that one from start to finish. I was looking at this.
Good for them.
And good for them.
Hey, good for them. Proud of them.
They have big aspirations this season. Yes, they do.
You know what? That Charlotte franchise, I've been worried about them for a while.
Uh-huh.
You know, they kind of been a joke. Everybody makes fun of them. Like LaMelo Ball just riding around Charlotte, just running his car into people nonstop.
Yeah.
It's kind of been a mess. So I'm happy for them.
I'm happy too.
It's good. You know, good for them.
Mm-hmm.
Good for them. And also good for the Hawks. You know?
Oh, they haven't won yet. I mean, but no, they are playing for something. So this is an important game for them. They're trying to stay out of that play-in tournament.
Let's see how bad they want it.
Let's see how bad they want it tonight. Yeah, let's see.
7th best lottery odds right now, Bennett.
Yeah, and by the way, for just to get it out of the way, you're not catching Dallas. Like that one's done. They're behind you. They're 2 games behind, 2.5 behind. No, 1.5 behind you. You're not catching Dallas. They're not winning another game. I looked at their schedule. They are not winning another game.
They're on Peacock tonight.
They're not winning another game. Just look at their schedule. I cannot find one win.
Well, they got it. You know, you never know.
No, well, that's true. I mean, we beat the Nuggets. That's true. Maybe we got one of those weird schedule snafus for the Mavs thrown in there, but
Bennett,
it doesn't look promising.
Bennett, I got enough going on in my life. I don't need you ripping my hopes away on a Monday morning.
I'm just telling you, man. I was doing my digging before the show, and I was like, oh, Dallas isn't winning again. There's no way.
The only thing right now I got to look forward to in this world is the idea that maybe the Grizzlies will catch the Mavericks in the standings. And you're telling me there's no chance. I don't want to hear that from you on a Monday morning.
I just don't think there's any chance at all. I'm sorry to break that to everyone.
Do you think there's a chance I'll get on my flight today?
Absolutely not.
What is better? What do I have a better chance of experiencing? a on-time departure today, or the Grizzlies pass the Mavericks in the standings in the way that we all know they need to?
I'm going to say the Grizzlies pass the Mavs in the standings because I don't think there's any way you're getting on a flight today. I'm just kind of looking at the news around the country. It just appears that, it appears the airline business, specifically where you are, is pretty much in shambles right now. So
I think any airline's a mess right now. That's what I gather. Just
but
about
where
any
you
airport.
It's really bad. I shouldn't laugh. Why am I laughing? It's actually really bad.
Woo!
Yeah.
Like real bad.
Yeah.
Like people died.
Like the busiest airport in the country shut down.
Like it's not open right now.
No.
What is hilarious, I have a 2:10 departure, and I saw in the middle of the night I was watching TV, and they were like, and breaking news, LaGuardia is closed till 2 p.m. on Monday. And I was like, well, I got 2:10, so maybe they open up and I'm the first one out. But I doubt it.
You good luck.
I doubt it. So you can see, you acknowledge there is a better chance of the Grizzlies catching the Mavericks in the standings the way we know they should. You think there's a better chance of that than me departing on time out of LaGuardia today, but not because you're optimistic of what the Grizzlies can accomplish, but you just have no confidence whatsoever in LaGuardia today.
Correct.
I got you. That makes sense. Either way, the Grizzlies have lost 2 straight, 1-9 in their past 10. They now have a 32% chance to get a top 4 pick in the 2026 NBA draft, a 7.5% chance to get the number 1 overall pick. So you get to watching your A.J. DeBonson, Darius Acuff, and Caleb Wilson tape, because hopefully one of them's moving to 191 Bill Street, Memphis, Tennessee, 38103 some point in June.
Number 2.
All right, Bennett.
Okay.
Last season, Memphis secured a 5 seed in the NCAA tournament, won a conference championship. Things were pretty good. Mm-hmm. Then the entire team left. P.J. Haggerty, everybody. Dane Danger wanted to come back, but the NCAA got in the way. They wouldn't let him. So then you looked up and Memphis had 0. The number was 0. How many players is Memphis returning from last season's team? The number was 0. And, we were hoping that would go well, but it clearly did not. And so, interesting development this weekend. Memphis is going to at least return 2 players, and that's because Jason Munns at the Commercial Appeal is reporting that Julius Tedford and William Wharton are both returning as Tigers for the 2026-27 season. Are things looking up? Bennett?
We'll see. And he also acknowledged, Jason did in his tweet, that it's not going to be the last, that there's probably going to be more players that return from last season. And I think I said a few weeks back, I don't care who comes back. I'm fine if it's a brand new team. I probably should take that back, because I do actually think that there is something to just having some kind of continuity. I don't know who else is going to return. I do think there's, Thedford's an intriguing player. We saw some stuff this season that seems like he's potentially a guy that Penny could develop, and he could maybe be a big contributor this upcoming season. But yeah, I'm totally cool with it. I'm fine with guys returning that are going to be able to be specifically Tedford, that in theory can be a contributor next season. But obviously, you're going to have to go and get some big time players in that transfer portal, right? Right.
At a place that used to recruit Derrick Rose and Penny Hardaway and Elliot Perry and Jalen Duren. I'm not going to get excited about the 5th leading scorer from a team that tied for 8th in the 10th best conference in America announcing a return to the University of Memphis. But I will say, if we can all agree that having no roster continuity is a problem, then this at least avoids that. And also, if you're Penny Hardaway, you just spent a year with these young men. You should know who they are. So if you want them back, and clearly if they're coming back, it can only happen if he wants them back. They're not allowed to come back if he doesn't want them back.
Right.
The idea that he wants them back, I think, is encouraging, unless he's just the worst judge of character and basketball talent in the world, which I don't believe he is.
Right.
Because, he spent a year with these people, and he knows what went wrong. He should know what went wrong with this team. And if you're bringing people back from a bad team, it suggests you see something positive in them, even if the entire experience with them was mostly negative, given the way the season unfolded. So if you're looking for something to hold on to, that would be that. Like, Penny knows these people. I promise you, there are players on that roster from last season that he would not take back. If they wanted to come back for free, if they wanted to pay him to come back, he'd be like, no, you got to go, right? I think every basketball coach probably has some of those. But it's at least confirmed this weekend that he's bringing 2 of these guys back, and I would assume that they're 2 people he believes can have a positive impact on his program, because if not, then that wouldn't make much sense.
Number 3.
Well, I think there's been plenty of indications that we were headed this direction, and now we're here. Men's basketball in the American Athletic Conference is no different than football in the American Conference these days. If you win the conference championship, with few exceptions, you are at risk of losing your coach. It happened to Tulane in football. They lost their coach to Florida. And now USF in basketball, after 1 year, they lose their coach to Providence. Brian Hodgson, it was confirmed this weekend, he's going to be the next head coach at Providence College. He leaves USF in the American after 1 season, in part because it's the 10th best league in the country. It's a 1-bid league now, and this is not the type of conference anybody tries to build anything of substance in anymore. Once upon a time, I guess this is my point, your conference champion in the American, it might be Houston with Kelvin Sampson, or Louisville with Rick Pitino, or Cincinnati with Mick Cronin. But now it's USF with Brian Hodgson, and you can't keep him if you win the whole thing. So this is a point that Vernon has made. Like, among the reasons he would like to see Penny flourish here is because he is the type of coach that if he actually has real success at Memphis to the point where he could get other opportunities, he would pass on them probably, theoretically, and just stay at Memphis in ways that no other coach would, because this is probably, unless things change dramatically, this is probably for most coaches, the Memphis job now, a springboard to a power conference, as opposed to somewhere you feel like you would only leave if Kentucky offered you a job. Like when John Calipari was the coach at Memphis, that was a time where you might only leave for Kentucky or something like that. And now, you really, unless you're Penny Hardaway and bleed blue, if you're the coach at Memphis or USF, you might leave for the Providence job. That's at least what we just saw from the USF coach this weekend.
Yeah, and I feel the exact same way, and it's why I hope Penny's able to turn this around and get this thing back to where it was, because it's exactly what you said, man. Like, this guy was there for 1 season, and you could tell in his post-game press conference he was out the door after that loss. And it's obviously a brutal spot to be in. I mean, we've talked, Memphis has bigger aspirations than that, and hopefully someday this school can get into a different league, because it is what it's going to be. Like if Penny Hardaway is not the coach at Memphis, in the next couple of years, whoever that guy is, if he has success, he's out of here. It's why I really just hope that that Penny flips this thing around, because I don't want that, man. That guy, again, he was there for 1 season, and I know that USF, they've got the means to go and find a good coach, but I just don't. We've never had to experience that here at Memphis, really, and I just don't want to be that. I don't.
Well, the problem at Memphis now is that once upon a time, like when John Calipari took the Memphis job, he also could have took the Missouri job out of the Big 12. And in his mind, the better job was Memphis in Conference USA as opposed to Missouri in the Big 12. Now Missouri's in the SEC, Memphis is in the American, and no coach would make that same decision. Like, nobody. I mean, it would have to be somebody who was born in Memphis, went to Memphis, and just wants to be the Memphis coach, like Penny Hardaway.
Right.
There is no coach in America other than somebody like that where you could put the Memphis job on the table, the Missouri job on the table, and say you can take either one of these. The money's the same. Either job's yours. Nobody would take Memphis over Missouri now. But there was a time where John Calipari did, because it was an easy thing to envision. But Memphis was not in a power conference, sure, but it also wasn't in a one-bid league. Right now, Memphis is operating in a one-bid league. And I've been doing this long enough, I can tell you this confidently. Coaches do not want their entire season/careers coming down to a 3 or 4 or 5 day tournament in March to try to see if you can go to the NCAA tournament. Nobody likes living that life where it doesn't really matter what you do in November, December, January, February. If you don't win your conference tournament, you're probably not going to the NCAA tournament. That has never been Memphis's reality. There has always been a way, theoretically, for Memphis to build an at-large resume. They did it just 2 years ago, so it's still possible, but it is harder than ever.
Yeah.
Harder than ever in this conference. And it makes it a tougher job than it's ever been. Nobody wants to be in a one-bid league. And so USF just found out you can't keep your coach if a power conference program, even one like Providence in the Big East. I mean, this isn't like Duke or Kentucky
That was
College.
the thing for me, is the school that he picked, right?
It's a bottom half Big East school, but it's still better than being in a one-bid league. Like, hey, I don't have to be the best team in my league that wins my conference tournament to go to the NCAA tournament. I can be a top 3, top 4, maybe even a top 5 in some years team in my league and still make the NCAA tournament comfortably. You can do that in the Big East. You cannot do that in the American. You could maybe do it in Memphis, even if you couldn't do it at other places in the same conference that Memphis was in. But it's getting harder than ever. I'm not saying it's impossible because, again, they did it just a year ago. But it's harder than ever. And I think that USF story with Brian leaving after just 1 year sort of illustrates the type of league that Memphis is now in. He said things in February and March about, building something special. But at the end of the day, once you get past all the, like, in the moment stuff, you look up and you just go, I can either coach in the 10th best conference in the country or one of the 5 best. I can either coach in a multi-bid league or a one-bid league, and most coaches are going to do what Brian did every single time.
Number 4.
Bill Self and the Kansas Jayhawks were eliminated from the NCAA tournament yesterday. You know that already. After the game, he was asked about his future. And I guess when you're asked about anything, you can say anything in response. He did not say he's definitely returning to Kansas for the 2026-27 season. He said, I'm going to have to get home, sit down with my family, and make a decision. But I need to feel good while I'm doing this. And certainly the implication was I haven't felt good in a while. He's had multiple heart procedures. I know he's changed his lifestyle a little bit. A lot of weight has come off of him. But talk to anybody around him, and this has taken a toll on him to some degree. And it's not perfectly clear that he feels the way you need to feel every single day to do the job as and everything that it demands. And so right now it looks like the hiring and firing process in college basketball is going to be relatively slow. Like, Syracuse opened, it closes with Jerry McNamara. Providence opened, it closed pretty quickly. Kansas State opened, it closed with the Belmont coach. And we really might just be operating from that point down. But if Kansas opens, that changes everything. Kansas is like one of the 3, 4, 5 best jobs in America. That's the type of thing where you could pick up the phone and call Nate Oates, call TJ Otzelberger, and then the domino effect starts happening in college basketball. But Bill Self, he's younger than most coaches who retire in this sport. He's obviously an all-time great, but his health has been challenging over the past few years. And I don't think it's a coincidence that, I think a lot of factors have played into it, but the Kansas program has fallen off a little bit relative to what it was in the previous 2 decades under Bill. Some of that is that the Big 12 got harder. Arizona came in, Houston came in, but I do think some of it is his health. I don't think he's been as healthy as he would like to be, obviously, and perhaps as healthy as he needs to be to do this job at a high level. He hinted at that yesterday, and so hopefully, first and foremost, he feels well and does well. But then you got a big decision to make, and depending on which way it goes, one of the biggest jobs in America could it be available or not in the coming days or weeks or perhaps even months.
Number 5.
Chappell Roan apparently hurt a little girl's feelings, or at least her security guard or somebody's security guard did. Do you even know about this story? I know you must be consumed.
About this story.
I know you must be consumed with Taylor Frankie because she's
moved on from that.
I haven't.
You haven't moved on from that?
No, I'm just catching up.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, well, it sounds like, they obviously canceled The Bachelorette.
I saw that. But now I think I'm pretty much caught up. I've been aware of Taylor Frankie, I think, from the jump, but I never watched anything. I didn't watch the Secret Lives of anything. I didn't watch anything. I just sort of, like, when I would see her pop into the news via TMZ, I'd be like, oh, yeah, I know that girl. I know what she's up to. But now I'm like, I mean, I watched her whole video. I watched a 30-minute video. First off, I get out of the studio. It's like 2:30 in the morning. I'm just sitting here.
Yeah.
I guess I'm in the city, that never sleeps. I could go do anything. But what I choose to do is just sit in my hotel room and watch the sunrise over the city. And sometimes I just watch Taylor Frankie videos. And she's wild, buddy. I don't know how they ever convinced themselves that this was going to go well.
Well, I didn't think maybe they didn't think that. I think they thought that all of her demons had been seen already publicly.
No.
Unfortunately for her, they weren't when that video surfaced. So,
she's a wild one.
Apparently.
She gets after it, man.
Yeah.
She is something. So anyway, you might have moved on. I haven't. I'm just getting caught up. But now I'm well aware of everything. I know all the characters now. Good. I know everybody. But anyway, Chappell Roan came in. She's trying to get some attention back. So she's playing a festival, right? Here's the story.
In Brazil.
Okay.
Lollapalooza, I believe. Lollapalooza, Brazil.
I'm sure it's excellent. So big festival. Chappell Roan's headlining it. So she flies on down there. And apparently she's in a restaurant or at the hotel or something. And Jorginho, he's a soccer player. He's a soccer star. You know this guy?
Yes, I do know him, yes.
Okay. So he's got a daughter or a stepdaughter with a woman who used to, I guess, do it with Jude Law.
Yeah, I think it's Jude Law's daughter.
Right. There's a lot of characters involved.
A lot of characters in this, a lot of famous people, yeah.
It feels like a Game of Thrones episode almost. There's just a lot going on, all right? So it's Jude Law's daughter, Jorginho's stepdaughter, and then this other woman, she used to hook it with Jude Law, and now she does it with a soccer player. Either way, it's none of my business. So the mom and the daughter are in the hotel, and they are literally there. They traveled there to go see Chappell Roan. Like the daughter loves Chappell Roan. And oh my God, we're in the hotel, and look who's there. Look who's there. It's Chappell Roan. All right. So the daughter, according to her mother, just walks by the table. Nothing. Doesn't stop to take a picture, doesn't ask for an autograph, doesn't make a scene, just sort of walks by the table and smiles. Little girl. According to the mom, at that point, a security guard comes over to the table aggressively and says, hey, you got to, being all security guardish. And so then the soccer player, he gets, I'm assuming the mom picks up the phone and is like, you're not going to believe what just happened. Chappell Roan's security guard is an asshole. And so he jumps on social media. He's got a big following because he's a soccer star. He's a footballer. And he's like, Chappell Roan, you're nothing without your fans, and you made my daughter cry. And Chappell Roan's like in Brazil, just like, laying in bed. Mm-hmm. And she decides to make a video like this.
Okay, so what did she say in the video? Because I haven't seen her response. I did see her tweet, which I thought sucked, but go ahead.
What did Chappell Roan say in her tweet? I didn't see that.
Dude, I don't know. Like, she explained, what happened or something, but, dude, one of the lines was, I don't play about my breakfast, and I was just like, shut up. Like, that.
She does seem difficult. She does seem like...
come on. That's just such a lame-o thing to say.
She does seem like she could need a coach. Like, somebody to coach her through, like, hey, this doesn't play the way you think it plays.
Yeah.
People are starting to get irritated with you.
That made me roll my eyes, but go ahead.
Anyway, she's laying in bed, and she sees a footballer saying, you were mean to my daughter, and your people are mean to my daughter. She's laying in bed like this. And she goes, hey, just to let you know, I never saw a woman or a daughter. I don't even know what you're talking about. So the idea that I was rude to your daughter or that I'm even aware of what you're talking about is so crazy to me. If this happened, I hate that it happened. I don't want a little girl to cry. I love my fans, but you are publicly criticizing me for something I'm not even aware that it happened. All right, Bennett, does that move you at all?
No, because she tweeted about it beforehand, so she obviously knows exactly what happened. I'm trying to find the exact tweet or Instagram post. Yeah, I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it.
The story from Chappell Roan is if there was a mother and a daughter who tried to get my attention in a restaurant at a hotel, and then security said, hey, you guys need to be more respectful of that. Don't be lurking around, or whatever they said. Just know that I'm not aware. I had nothing to do with it. I didn't tell anybody to do that. It's not my security. I don't know. You might as well be telling me about how Olivia Rodrigo's security was mean to some little girl somewhere, because I have just as much of an understanding about that as I do this. It's got nothing to do with me. I was just eating food. That's her story. You buy it? You don't buy it.
No, because okay, I found it right here. She posted this, okay, before doing that video. She said, I've seen the recent backlash and I've been receiving a lot of messages about the situation. I want to start by saying that I've always been very clear about my boundaries when I'm on stage performing, at drag, at a work event or doing press. I'm working. Outside of that, I'm not in work mode. I'm a person. I'm allowed to exist privately. This was the one. I just woke up. I deserve my space, especially in moments like breakfast. I don't play about my breakfast.
Okay. I don't love that. I don't love that.
Come on. That video that she did, that's just damage control. Listen, I get my fam loves Chappell Roan. And she's got some bangers. She's got great songs, but
Pink Pony Club.
I didn't love that.
Should take you to the Pink Pony Club.
I didn't love that, man.
You ever been to the Pink Pony Club?
I have not.
Okay.
Maybe the pony, but no, I don't know about I think there was a pink pony. Either way, that's another discussion for another day.
That's a story for another day.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, Bennett. I don't love what I'm hearing. Chappell Roan does have a reputation as being difficult. Every time I see her, she's yelling at somebody with a camera.
Yes, I know. That's why. Right. Whatever, man. We don't know what people are going through. It's fine.
We don't know what people are going through.
I totally acknowledge that. It's just when I saw the line, I don't play about my breakfast, I was immediately like, okay, eye roll. That is someone not reading the room at all.
I don't love that at all. If that's true, if that's what she's read, if what you're presenting to me is true, I don't love that at all. Because what I thought this was a story. I was trying to be a little more forgiving to Chappell Roan than I think you're trying to be. Because I can see a scenario. Sometimes security guards get security guardy. They get they get real important.
Yes. No, I acknowledge that. Like she probably had little to do with this exact interaction. I just don't like her response.
I didn't like that response either.
Yeah.
But there's a video, I believe, of Taylor Swift where her security is getting kind of weird with somebody. Mm-hmm. And you see Taylor Swift go, hey, no, that's fine. She talks to her security no, what are you doing? Leave these people alone. But they were just trying to do their job. And they might just have the personality that makes them do it aggressively, right? And I thought this was probably that. Chappell Roan's over here in a corner. She's eating her breakfast or whatever. And she doesn't care if a little girl smiles, but the security guard thinks that she might. So the security guard's being all like that, and that's what leads to this. But if she's saying, hey, I don't play with my breakfast, and if you walk near my table during breakfast, you get what you get, well, then she deserves the reputation she's got, right? That's not great.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
Didn't love it.
I saw where other people have said that she needs to just look up and realize you're a pop superstar. Your life's not as bad as you seem to act like it is every time you're on camera, because you're just constantly yelling at people and looking all mad and stuff. But you know what? That's not for me to say.
Right.
I don't know what it's like to be a Chappell Roan. Perhaps I'd be the same way. Anyway, I think we're Team Jude Law's daughter here. Is that official?
I am, yes.
I think I am too.
I'm looking out for the kids. Yep.
I'm gonna look out for the kids too. Chappell Roan. I was gonna say be better, but on the off chance she really didn't have anything to do with this, at least get your security or that security to be better, because we probably spent more time on this than we should have.
Yeah, probably.
Be back with Carryout.
Thanks for showing up, Memphis. Nothing beats catching your Grizzlies IRL, and nobody knows that better than you. So next time you want to hit up a game, Ticketmaster's got your back with tickets to every upcoming matchup. Whether you're catching the Grizzlies at home or on the road, you'll find tickets at Ticketmaster, the official ticket marketplace of the Memphis Grizzlies and the NBA. Keep putting that jersey collection to use and get Grizzlies tickets today. There's no better brag than saying you saw it live. See you courtside again soon, Memphis.
With living in luxury at Southland Casino Hotel, the good life is closer than you think. Members get one entry with every 100 points earned playing on their Lucky North Rewards card, plus one free entry daily. Win free play at our hourly drawings, and don't miss our Saturday grand prize drawings in March. You could win a home theater package, premium massage chair, an outdoor jacuzzi, and $250,000 cash. Luxurious prizes await at Southland Casino Hotel. Must be 21 or older. Play responsibly. For help quitting, call 800-522-4700.
The heaviest metal credit card of all time. Rumored to be one of only 18 in existence. Plated with the very same tungsten that forged the International Space Station. And wielded at business dinners like a samurai sword. It's a classic corporate power move. But the real power move? Having end-to-end visibility on your most critical shipments. FedEx, the new power move.
Orthopedic injuries can be unpredictable, unforeseen, and unscheduled, and Ortho South understands this better than anyone. Since your injuries don't make appointments, you don't need to either. That's because Ortho South welcomes walk-ins during the weekdays, in the evenings, and even on Saturdays. So next time an unforeseen injury makes an unscheduled appearance in your life, visit orthosouth.org to find your nearest urgent care location. Just walk in, and Ortho South will take care of everything, especially you. Learn more at orthosouth.org. That's orthosouth at orthosouth.org.
We're giving you a chance to win free Sonic. Just hit the link pinned in the YouTube chat to enter for a Sonic gift card. Jump into the chat, hang with us, and maybe even eat free Sonic too. Let's wrap this up with Carryout.
It's time for GP's Carryout. One final segment filled with stuff to take with you. It's not everything you need to know, but it's most of it. What did we miss today?
All right, Bennett, we got a whole, there's another variable with all of this, all right? So.
What's up?
TSA is a mess all over the country, it appears.
Yes.
LaGuardia is currently shut down because of a collision between a plane and a trunk that resulted in 2 fatalities.
God.
And the President of the United States flew into Memphis this morning.
Yes.
There's a lot going on.
Yep.
There's a lot going on. At this point, I'm thinking I'm going to see you next Monday in person.
Yeah, I don't know if you're getting home, man. Good luck, though.
Thank you. It's funny, twice during the show, I've got a call from car service people, and I'm not even answering because I'm can't. But they're I can read their voicemails, and it's hey, just heard there was a mess at LaGuardia. Just trying to see if you still need a car for this time. I don't know, man. Turn on the TV. How would I know?
Call LaGuardia.
Call LaGuardia. I don't know. I don't know if I still need a car. I don't know anything. I give up. I give up on this life.
What's today's biggest game?
All right, can I take you to the women's NCAA tournament? Do you have proper respect? Do you have proper respect for the women's NCAA tournament?
I absolutely do. I have a bracket right in front of me.
You did a bracket for the women's NCAA tournament?
I do every year.
Okay, Bennett. I don't guess okay, Bennett.
Yeah, that's right. You're familiar with my game, were you?
I don't think I was familiar with your game.
Yeah.
All right. It's a round of 32 game in the women's NCAA tournament. We're going to call it 5 o'clock Central on ESPN. It's number 1 UConn, the number 1 overall seed in this tournament, 35-0. That's Gino's team. They're playing Syracuse. Syracuse is 24-8, 9 seed. The line's 35.5. UConn minus 35. Can you imagine, like, a round of 32 game in the NCAA tournament, men's side? You just don't get, like,
no, you
like
don't
Florida
get that.
Or you don't get 35.5.
Right.
The gap between elite and 9 seeds in the women's tournament seems to be much larger than it is between elite and 9 seeds in the men's tournament. Just yesterday, we saw Iowa as a 9 beat Florida as a 1. Syracuse as a 9 is a 35.5 point favorite to top-seeded UConn. How are you going to act?
I'm looking to see if UConn's beaten anybody by 35 points. I would assume
they beat everybody.
I think they beat everybody by that much. God, they just blasted Villanova and Creighton, too. My goodness.
Do you remember just a few years ago? Like, they would come into Memphis and just beat the brakes off of them.
I don't even think we reported on it. It was that bad. You know what? I just can't, in my right mind, take any team minus 35.5. So just give me the orange. Just give me the orange.
Syracuse plus the points. They just hired Jerry
McNamara.
basket. Make like all you need is like
I need like 3 each quarter and we're good.
Can you get 3 points a quarter against UConn and you might be able to cover? Bennett says take Syracuse plus the 35.5. 5 o'clock tip ESPN.
What are we watching on TV?
Episode 3 of Rooster has dropped on HBO Max. I'm digging Rooster. Rooster's fun.
Okay.
Steve Carell.
I haven't watched it, but I know what you're talking about. But I haven't watched it.
Okay, the premise is this: he's an author who writes like books you read at the beach. You know?
Okay. Yeah.
He ain't gonna go down in history as like the greatest anything, but he makes a living writing books that people read at the beach. Anyway, he's got a daughter who's a professor at a small college. She's married to another professor at that same college. He has an affair, that professor does, with a grad student. So that's messy. And Steve Carell goes back to speak at the school, but really just to try to reconnect with his daughter. And then a bunch of stuff happens. He ends up teaching at the school. So now you got all these done. It's 10 episodes in season 1. We're on episode 3 now. It was dropped yesterday. I'm going to give it 2 thumbs up so far.
Okay.
Rooster on HBO Max. You can find it in your app.
What's the best thing we've read?
Go over to CBSSports.com, hit on NCAA men's basketball, go to that page, and just read all of the great stuff my colleagues are doing covering this NCAA tournament. This is the time of the year where once the top 25 and 1 is done, I don't really write that much anymore because I'm in studio till 2:30 in the morning. I don't have a lot of time. But I got friends and colleagues who are writing incredible stuff every single day. If you want to get caught up on the 2026 NCAA tournament, go find it, CBSSports.com.
What's on tap for tomorrow?
Who knows? How could anybody know? I mean, how could anybody know?
We'll have a show in some form or fashion.
You say that.
Oh, we'll turn these cameras on. Don't you worry.
We'll see what's going on with that Strait of Hormuz tomorrow.
Yeah.
That dude said if they don't open it up by tonight, he's just going to blow everything up.
Oh, man. What a time to be alive.
Or not alive. Mm-hmm. Either way, it's a wild time, you know? It's wild times. So we'll see how it goes. Man, I ain't going to make no promises. We'll see how it goes. All right? Enjoy the rest of your day. I am almost certain I am not going to enjoy mine. I am pretty sure mine's going to be terrible. But you will be okay. And then we'll look up in 22 hours. We'll see where we're at. Till then, be careful, be kind, be good. Rep your hood.